We're up to question number 6 on our quadratic functions test review worksheet. In the space provided, write whether the function is linear, quadratic, or neither. Alright, let's remember how we know these. So linear is going to have its highest exponent. Highest exponent is 1. Quadratic, highest exponent is 2, and then everything else, so we'll put neither, its highest exponent is going to be 3 plus, so 3 or more. Alright, so there's our guidelines. That should make this question fairly easy on the test. F of x equals 7x minus 10. The highest exponent here is 1, because if there's no exponent on a variable, the exponent is 1. That must be linear. Question number 2, and I'll circle that. Question number 2, our highest exponent is 2. That means it is quadratic. Question number 2. Question number 7 is quadratic. Question number 8, the highest exponent is 3. That's not quadratic and that's not linear, so it is neither. It's actually called a cubic. You'll learn that next year in Integrated Math 3. Number 9. Easy to make a mistake on this. Students will say, oh, the highest exponent is 1. But it doesn't matter which term it is. Look for the highest one of all 3 terms. And that means this is still a quadratic. Number 10. Highest exponent is 1 here. That means it is linear. Question number 11. Highest exponent is 3. That means it is neither quadratic nor linear. And question number 12, the highest exponent is 2, and that must be a quadratic. That's all there is to these. Alright, question number 13. Let's get to it. Number 13, for each of the functions below, find the values of a, h, k, and the vertex. Alright, number 13 is a function notation, f of x. And this appears to be in vertex form, which means we have an A, we have an H, and we have a K. Now in this case, the A value just shows as negative. We know that if there's just a sign out front, that means -1. So we're going to go ahead and write A is -1. H is here. In the equation, it looks like -5, but remember, in a vertex form quadratic, it looks like this. It's x minus h squared plus k. That means if this is showing up as -5 in the equation, the h value is actually +5. If you've plugged +5 into this vertex form, it would show up as x minus 5, which is exactly what it does. The k value is being added, so that sign doesn't change. That's just 9. And then class, the vertex is a no-brainer. Vertex is just h and k, 5, 9. Next one, number 14. Here's our a value, here's our h value, here is our k value. Our a value here is +3. Our h value is actually -2, because if you plugged -2 into x minus h, it'd be x minus -2, which would end up showing up as x plus 2. Our k value, the sign does not change, that's -12. And our vertex, again, is just h, k, -2, -12. Let's go ahead and continue on with this. Let's get 15 and 16 done in this video. Question number 15. Fill in the answers below based on the given graph. Alright, so they want us to look at this parabola and figure out all these values. Well, we know that h and k come from the vertex, and the vertex here is at -1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, +4. So -1, +4. That means that's h and that's k. H is -1, k is 4. Now a lot of students will ask me, wait a second, don't you flip the sign of h? No, you do not. Remember in the previous question, the vertex gives us h and k. if you'd flip the sign of h if you wrote the equation for this parabola. Then it would show up as x plus 4. But in this case, don't flip the sign. The vertex is just h and k. The axis of symmetry, which runs right through the middle of the vertex, is actually pretty simple. It's always going to be x equals in IM2 because our parabolas will always open up or open down. That means our axis of symmetry will always be a vertical line. And where you find this is, just look at the h value. X equals -1. I'll put a little note here. That's always going to be the h value, because the line that passes through the vertex vertically is the line where x is always -1. Our domain will, which is our x values, let's put on here x values. Okay, we can have infinite x values. This parabola will continue to get bigger. No matter how far you go down, it just gets wider and wider and wider. So it's going to be all real numbers. There's another way to write this, class. I'm going to put it over here on the side. You could also write, it's the set of all numbers from infinity. So, domain x is greater than infinity and less than infinity. It's any number. All right. Next thing is range. So we'll take a look at range. Range is going to be y, and then in this case, if you look at this, y has to be less than or equal to the vertex value of h right here. Okay, so take a look at the vertex value, and we see that the vertex value, the y value, is 4. That means y has to be less than or equal to 4. So for range, which is the y values, I'll put a note there. Okay, in this case, it's always going to be the value, this number right here is always going to be the y value of the vertex. Or in this case, k. So you're going to use k to find this. So y is less than or equal to this number right here. Now if the parabola was facing up, it would be y is greater than or equal to 4. What are our x-intercepts? Take a look at this. We cross the x-axis at 1, so that coordinate is 1, 0. And we also cross the x-axis at 1, 2, 3, so -3, 0. And then we've got our y-intercept. There's only one of those right here, and that crosses the y-axis at 1, 2, 3. So that coordinate is 0, 3. All right, covered that one. I would totally suggest you do the number 16 on your own. You should be doing these on your own and then going back and looking at the answers and see if you're getting them right. Question number 16, fill in the answers below. All right, our h and k come from our vertex. Our vertex here is at -2, -1. So our h value is -2, our k value is -1. Our vertex is -2, -1. Our axis of symmetry always is through the vertex, and it will always be found with the h value of the vertex, or we could say the x value of the vertex as well. X equals -2. It's where x is always -2 in this vertical line. Our domain is always going to be all real numbers because our x values, remember this is our x values, they never stop getting bigger or smaller as our parabola goes up higher and higher. This parabola gets wider and wider. Our range is going to be, in this case, we'll never go below this line right here. So our range is going to be y is greater than or equal to, and here's our k value, -1. Take a look at it. Y can get down to -1 right here, but it never goes below that. But it will forever go above that as this parabola grows. What are our x-intercepts? We are at -1 and -3. So -1, 0 and -3, 0. And then the last one, where is the y-intercept? It is actually same place as the other one. It's at 0, 1, 2, 3. So 0, 3. So that's how you use the graph to find these data values. That's the end of this video.